In the next 5 years, America will undergo a massive paradigm shift. I'm talking about a shaking that's going to affect billions of people because of this new plan, this new system that they're about ready to put in place. Hasn't been executed yet, but it's coming. So they're trying to execute, of course, a new population control. And because the system that has been put in place, or the trust rather that they had between nations, is getting weaker, and personal data, of course, is being sold to brokers. Okay, we're going to experience a rupture, not a rapture. It is not the end of the world. It is simply the ushering in of a new era, a new system, because the systems that we know today will soon collapse. They're coming to an end. They're going to fail. They're useless now. And we're brought to this place and point in time where now men will become obsolete, useless to the system, and they will simply be disregarded as nothing. Because to them and to the system, we are data. We're not a name. We're known by our social security number only, not by the name. So we have this new system being put in place. We have AI, which is artificial intelligence. Now remember, AI is artificial intelligence. It is not consciousness. It is artificial intelligence. It is simulated intelligence. So now we have computers who cannot bridge the mind to the heart. It doesn't feel emotion. It cannot hold hands. It is unsympathetic. It is non-negotiable. So we have a system known as AI intelligence. Watch this. A system that thinks, but it cannot feel. It evaluates, but it cannot reason. It computes, but it cannot compromise. This system does not know evil and good. It only does what men tell it what to do. Now watch this. So we have here algorithms, because algorithms are generated within a system, but algorithms don't fear theology. Systems don't respond to belief. It can't reward faith. It shows up physically, but yet our faith is spiritual. Now, we have a system that's going to be able to judge our work, not our words. Okay? Words will become worthless in these next several years. Resumes will be useless in the next few years. They will not matter. You will be judged by your work. People are going to be screaming the truth, but no one will be listening, because the age of listening has expired. So we have technology that's going to be favorable. It's going to be quantified, but it can't be preached. We have most major religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, will be reduced to speeches. He said that there will still be churches, and churches will exist, but they will be void of the power of God, and they will be reduced to simply speeching, not preaching. Void and empty of the Spirit of God and His power. So we have here a next new wave, a new shift that's going to take place. And you have to be prepared for this next new era that we're about ready to be entering into. If not, you will be left behind. There is a door in the realm of the Spirit that is slowly closing over months, over years. And once the door is shut, it's forever closed. You won't be able to access the door. Only those who are inside will have gained access and freedom, limited freedom. But those who are outside will simply be obsolete, because they're operating on two different keyboard patterns. They're operating on enter and delete. Men will become useless. Degrees will age like milk. Words. The Lord said, no more words in this place. And it echoed 3 times, no more words in this place. Resumes are words. Degrees are words. Speeches are words. God builds his kingdom not on words, but in what? Demonstration of the Spirit and power. In fact, this new future is going to be so pivotal that your faith is going to determine your consequence. Your faith is going to have to show up and be present in order for God to do what he needs to do in your life. So we have here this new system that's going to be put in place. Millions will become unemployable. In other words, the unemployment rate is going to be so astronomical. Men and women will be standing idle on the streets, not because they are slow, not because they are ignorant. It's because of the system. They are no longer useless. They are no longer valuable, and they will simply be left behind. So we're going to have to develop ownership. You're going to have to replace income to ownership and gain access to resources and assets, because that's going to speak volumes, not your words, but by what you have, what you possess, what you own, what you have access to, because there will come a time where access will be denied. Freedom will be replaced by permission, and money and access and resources is going to give you permission. It's going to give you permission to go. It's going to give you permission to buy and sell, because the mark will eventually come through the system and will give you permission to say no to the system. Only what you have, only what you own, because there will be a time when ownership will be revoked. Money will be locked away institutions, and the borrower will always be a slave to the lender and be indebted and will not be able to replace or pay off the debt. The time is coming. The time is near. So the system will no longer need people, because it never did. Once it's done its position and done its work here, it no longer needs information from people. It's collected enough data already. People will become useless. Bones in the valley, lies without breath. People will be connected, but they will be empty. In fact, slavery is going to be returning, but it's going to be dressed. It's going to be disguised as comfortability, and now money will no longer be a luxury. It'll be a pass to gain access, to acquire, to have something. We're living in that time right now. So we have here land, assets, resources. This is what we should be going after right now. This is what we should be seeking God to provide for us, because the time will come where these things will be denied and rejected. Physical goods. Now watch this. The system cannot comfort. Digital cannot defend. It is only strategic power that they're going to use to implement a plan to control the masses of people that are here upon this earth. Man became fast, but he became shallow. He became connected, but he alone. He will own nothing, yet he will try to save everything, and possession will be replaced by permission. You remember the prophecy that Daniel said? He said, knowledge shall increase. But he didn't say wisdom would. And then Solomon comes along and says, wisdom is the principal thing. And he said, in all you're getting, get understanding. So we're living in an age where knowledge is increasing and increasing, but the wisdom of many is not the wisdom of God. But the knowledge of man is slowly increasing. So we have here a digitized system. We have here people who are looking or seeking for ownership, which I encourage, because ownership will one day be removed. Access will only belong to a few, and our movements are going to be monitored, calculated, articulated, and assets will one day become unaffordable during the time of this collapse of this system. There's more to come. Please stay tuned.